Here are the 3 best sneaker investments that will not only make you money, but make you money quick. There are a couple things I want to go over for all 3 of these shoes. First, why I believe they'll go up. Second, my buy-in price. Third, my selling price. And fourth, where to buy. And also, what am I personally going to do with these 3 shoes. Also, I have to emphasize, if you don't have any capital to put to the side to invest, I suggest you just start quick selling the items that I talk about, because you don't want to hold up the majority of your capital into a sneaker investment, because you won't be able to have any capital to purchase any other shoes in future releases. Now, all these shoes are Jordan 1s, but none of them are Jordan 1 highs. And for the first shoe, I actually have right here with me at college. Purchased this on campus from a friend of mine that also resells sneakers. Now, the first shoe is the Jordan 1 Diamond Mid.
Gina on the track.
She don't want Barbarian, say she wants Celine.
Now, these are one of the most fire colorways I've seen of a Jordan 1 mid. You guys can see there's like an iridescent glow to the white on the uppers, and you can see the little details, the diamond with the Jumpman. I don't know, the materials look kind of fire. Also, the translucent outsole. It's a beautifully put together shoe. Retail was only $135 compared to a Jordan 1 high, which is $170. So to clarify, my buy-in price would definitely be try to get your pairs for $150. I would say pass if it's around like $170, $180. There's still room for profit. It's just $150 is ideal. Now, considering where to buy them, I got a lot of these pairs in store and online, but since the drop date has already passed, I would say the best place to get your pairs are on online marketplaces. I'd say eBay's your best bet online. Other than that, I would say check your local apps like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and if you have a sneaker reselling Instagram, to check Instagram reselling accounts to see if any of them have those for sale, because that's where I've been making most of my deals on Instagram nowadays, because at college I'm low-key in the middle of nowhere, like I've said in my previous videos. Now, the selling price, the price that I see these mids going to, I can definitely see them becoming a $300 shoe just because how basic it is. Sometimes the simple the better. Just a standard white and black shoe, there's gonna be demand for it, and especially since the design is an Air Jordan 1, and also it got like that iridescent glow and the diamond Jumpman logo. There's a lot of details on this shoe. I just don't see it sitting at $150, $180 right now. I definitely see room to grow. Give it till summertime, I definitely see a rise in price. I could definitely see it hitting like the $220, $250 range. I could definitely see that. And yeah, like I said, for me, what I'm doing is I'm basically holding half of those pairs. I have 14, all in 3 days work. I'm holding 7 of them, and the other 7, I'm just selling them right away or putting them up for consignment, and I've already had a couple sales on consignment, so the demand is there. On to shoe number 2. I do not have it with me in hand, but I've had a couple pairs in hand before, and let's just say they are beautiful in person. The next shoe is the Jordan 1 Mid Iron Ore.
Found out that you're bad for me. I found out that you had someone.
Now, this shoe, for me, it's super reminiscent of the Jordan 1 Dutch Green for some reason. I think it's just like kind of that like pinkish tone Nike swoosh. In person, the materials is super nice, and I feel like a lot of girls would definitely like this shoe. Now, for this shoe, I would specify to only target sizes 7 women's to 9 women's. Actually, I would say 6 women's to 9 women's, because the bigger sizes, I don't see a lot of guys wearing these shoes, but for the girls, I definitely see a lot of girls wearing these shoes. It's a really, really nice colorway, but I just don't see it like a lot of guys wearing it. Now, for the buy-in price, I would say it could be a little bit higher than the Diamond Mids. I would say you could go to $160, $170. This shoe, I do have a suspicion that it's definitely going to be a $340 to $350 shoe. Supply, when it dropped, like it was actually pretty hard to get your hands on. Usually when mids drop, it's a little bit easier, at least easier than like going for the highs, but these were surprisingly really hard to get. Now, I definitely see around Easter, even though that's coming up right now, I definitely see a rise during that period of time. It has so much potential to shoot to 340, 350, like the 300 plus range, just because it's reminiscent of some other Jordan 1 mids that have reached that point, like for example the Dutch Green and the Wolf Gray Jordan 1 mid. And where to buy them? Again, local marketplaces. Instagram is probably going to be your best bet. If not, try Facebook Marketplace and try offer up, but I would say Instagram would be your best bet. Now, the third and final shoe, I definitely feel like it's an underrated pick. The market right now is pretty low, so you guys could get in if you want to right now. There's also a shoe that you kind of saw and you didn't really think anything of it, and that was the Jordan 1 Shadow Red. Now, the main reason why I do see a rise in price in this shoe specifically is just because I've had a couple pairs, and then I got all these shadow mids from Expressions. Can never go wrong with these. These was in the last video. And I put them up for consignment, and I sold them for a higher price than what they are now, because it's a consignment store, always has higher prices. And I was selling them for around like that 250 to 280 range. I sold a lot of men's sizes already, so that just gives me the indication that there's definitely much more room to grow. With that being said, I would say focus only on men's sizes and not any of the grade school sizes. I don't see a lot of girls wearing this shoe. I think it's a super slept on colorway. Literally, if the Wings logo was not red, it would be doing numbers, because it's reminiscent of the regular Shadow Jordan 1. But some could say the red is a good addition, so you know, I'm gonna just leave it up to the people to decide, but I know that this shoe is definitely gonna rise. It's a super underrated pick, so you guys can get into it right now. I've been getting my pairs for resale for around 140, and some stores still have them in store. Especially if you get the shoe for retail, there's no risk, because you could always just return it, or you could just sell it. You don't have to invest into it. You could just sell it and make your profit. Now, there are many reasons why there's not any Jordan 1 highs on this list, but just mids. First of all, they're easier to get. Not a lot of people actually want mids initially, and also they have a lower retail, which means there's a lot more room to grow, and you can also have a higher ROI percentage. ROI is just basically return on investment. So the ROI percentage, if I bought a shoe for $100 and I sold it for $150, that's a $50 profit, and it's also a 50% return on investment. It's always better to have a higher ROI percentage. That's why it's easier to achieve that with a lower retail and lower resale cost. I could buy a bunch more mids than I can highs. I could buy a bunch of highs for around $200, $240, $220, or I could buy a bunch of mids around, you know, retail price to like $150, and I could buy a bunch more, have a better return on investment, and have more profit at the end. So yeah, that's why I've been focusing a lot more on mids. The fact that people still clown people from wearing mids is kind of crazy to me, but honestly, it doesn't matter, because there's a market for this. People actually do want them. Some mids are at like $300, $400. So I don't care what it is, mids or highs, as long as I get a better ROI and I get more profit, and it's just overall easier to invest and get much more out of it, then I'm definitely doing that. Like, I don't care if it's a mid or a high. Whichever can benefit me more, I'm doing it. I'm not just gonna go for highs just because they're Jordan 1 highs and I think nobody's gonna want mids, because clearly people want them. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap up the video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope it was informative, and I hope y'all got something out of it. If not, let me know. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram at Kicks with Frank, or leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.
Morning!